Ahoy friends, welcome to Building the Alpha Dory. I'm Dan and this is a project to build a Chamberlain style racing dory from John Gardner's The Dory Book. Illustrations by Sam Manning. Today we're going to be out in the shop and hopefully we will finish cutting the frames, the knuckles for the shear plank on the port side. So yeah, let's get out into the shop and see how things go. Alright, so we've already marked these cuts, these angles and whatnot. So that was the last video, so we can go ahead and start making those cuts. And yeah. I'll line the saw up with the plank below, so fore and aft, and then can't get the bandsaw a little bit out of the way. No, that didn't work. That's further out of the way. I may just do it. For this next cut. Alright, so I've only got one I've only got one frame left to cut, but figured I'd take the time to use this little trick. The saw was squeaking and complaining a little bit on the last cut, so this is I'm using a lamp oil from Lamplight Farms. It's part paraffin and part kerosene, but you can use just straight kerosene too if you like, and probably liquid paraffin on its own would work as well, but it just helps with the movement of the saw through the wood. And of course you don't want to lump this rag anywhere because it is an oily rag at that point. But, yeah, that'll just make the cut go that much smoother. You can see this one came out pretty okay. You know, it's not a bad cut. And I'm trying to leave the line a little bit, which we did right here, so that's a good sign. And you can see how the you can see the amount that the plank is going to overlap the strake there. So we'll shave back to about here on the plank below, which will give the outer plank a good flat spot to land on. So now I'm going to move the saw back. I moved it out of my way so I'd have room to cut this frame. So I'm going to move the bandsaw back into position over here and make the last cut. All right, that's a good start. So, next would be to plane the edge of this plank so that it matches the cut of the frames. Oh, and we still have to do the transom cut as well into the letting the the shear strake into the transom. So that remains to be done. And yeah, let's make that cut, and then we'll get the planes out and start in on the strakes. At this point, I'm just holding the blade parallel to the plank gain. And making that cut. About to cut into the back plate here, so we'll cut it off there. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so the next thing to do, and you'll likely remember this from previous videos, snag yourself a plane that's set fairly aggressively, and just like the lap below it, and laps on the other sides, now we have to bevel this strike, put an angle bevel on it to match the the angle of the next strake down, because we got a rolling, we've got knuckles here in the frames, so each plank is now coming in at a different angle, whereas previous two planks we were just able to overlap those as they set on the plank. So I'm lining the plane up with the angles on the frames here, and I'll work my way forward and then work my way aft from a midsection. Like I was saying, you can set your plane pretty deep. Set the blade pretty deep, fairly aggressive, because you're taking a fairly narrow cut for the ball parts, and you're shaving that edge off. I'm keeping the same angle between each of the frames as I go along, just to make sure that this level stays the same.